What's going on, guys? It's Juice Audio, and today I'm talking about the KSD A200 mk2 studio monitors. So KSD has been around for a while now, but they are just now tapping into the US market. And luckily for me, my good friend Eric is now the marketing of their company. These are listed at $2,849 each, or about $5,700 for the pair. And I have a lot to talk about these monitors because they are an incredible value. You get a dome mid-range, a 10-inch woofer, and a three-way system for this price is pretty incredible. So let's get into it. So I had these monitors for about 2 weeks. I don't have them with me right now, so if you see a lot of B-roll in this video, you know why. And I tested them out at a bunch of different places and ran a bunch of mixes through them. We tested them out at the Guild Records, at Eric's home studio, at my home studio here in my living room. And I always like to check monitors in different spaces because they act completely different in different spaces. And the first thing that came to my mind is that the bass is super impressive. I've never heard bass like that out of a monitor. And these are ported 10-inch woofers, all right? So imagine a 10-inch woofer. You can't really tell in this video, but it's a jumbo woofer, all right? So this thing is basically a subwoofer, and it can play down to 27 hertz, which is crazy impressive for this small box. And that 27 hertz is not exaggerated. It feels effortless, like it could play to 20 is what it sounds like. So I really like the bass texture and how fast it is. Like, I've never heard kicks go this low and bass 808s this low on a monitor alone without a subwoofer. And I have a funny experience about this. Is because we were mixing a track where we had a problem with the kick. The kick in mic, it died for some reason, right? I think it was a bad wire. So kick out mics, they sound good. They have a lot of sub information, but it sounded fine in the mix on our other speakers. But when you brought this into the studio, I noticed right away, I was like, hey dude, like it sounds like the woofer's blown on these speakers. And my friend Eric, who let us borrow these, he's like, no, it's got to be in your mix. So lo and behold, we found out that the kick out was clipping. And it's not clipping because of loud sound. It was more of like the pressure, like when you blow on a mic, it clips. It's a very subtle sound. So out of all the monitors we were using, I only heard the kick clipping on these monitors because they had that dynamic range to play it, and I was really surprised by that. Of course, I tried the mix in my Tesla, which has a crazy sound system, and I didn't hear it clipping in there. It sounded like a normal kick. Now let's talk about the mids. So this is a 3-inch dome mid-range driver. That is extremely impressive at this price point, because if you look at any other monitors like PMCs or ATCs, those monitors cost $10,000 starting. And those don't even have a 10-inch woofer. Those have like 5-inch or 6.5-inch drivers. I've used the ATCs, and I hate to say it, but I'm not impressed with the bass on those at all. But the mids are great, of course. So these have a 3-inch dome mid-range, and dome mid-range are known for having a smooth response and being accurate. They don't fatigue your ears much compared to a normal paper cone mid-range. Another thing about them is that they throw a super wide soundstage when you have a dome mid-range. So if you move left to right, the sweet spot is everywhere. You're never losing when you're moving subtly. The tweeter plays pretty fast and responsive. I did find it to be slightly dark in every room I brought them in. I just turned up the brightness a little bit, and that could just be because my ears and how I like how it sound. Another thing to note is that these speakers implement with the KSD remote, which I have here on my desk that I'm testing out for these speakers. And this remote you can buy additionally for $1,000. It doesn't come with the speakers. And when you plug them in through Ethernet, you have access to like 6 bands of EQ, you have delay, and I really think that is a great investment to buy if you do end up buying these speakers, because like I said, it's a 10-inch woofer in a small box and it's rear ported. So these things are a beast and they need to be tamed from room to room, right? Having a rear port does mean when you get close to a wall, you have a lot more bass. So in all the studios I brought this in, I did turn down the bass quite a bit because of the rear porting. And these are not, 100% acoustically treated rooms. So if your room is treated really well, you probably won't have that problem. And looking at the back of the monitors, we have a digital in, an analog XLR in. We got the remote in, which is an Ethernet cord that plugs into the KSD remote. We even have a sub out. I don't know exactly how the sub out is crossed over, or you can do it with a remote. I haven't seen that yet. We got volume, we have bass control and high frequency control, as well as a switch to turn off the light in the front and a power switch. And this light in the front is not just a light to look fancy, it is also an indicator if you are clipping. When you start to clip these speakers and play them too loud, they start to blink. So looking at the design of the speakers, you can buy these in cherry or black. And to be honest, the build quality of these feels like it's way more expensive than what they cost. Having the metal shell on the outside really feels like they're protected from you scratching them or even dropping them because they're built like tanks. So yeah, that's how I feel about these monitors. I'm super surprised with the value that they offer, and they definitely sound and feel and look a lot more expensive than how much they actually are. So I'm excited for what KSD has to offer to the US market. And of course, I got these C55 review coming up soon in a couple videos, and I'm extremely impressed with these too. And the build quality is exactly the same for a little bit less the price. So yeah, that's all I got to say for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Check out KSD down in the description down below. Hopefully I get an affiliate link for you guys if you want to buy and support the channel. So subscribe. See you later.